So apparently the Lego situation got worse. Let's
It
check.
is bonkers that this Lego scandal keeps snowballing into this avalanche of degeneracy, discovering new unhinged lows
True.
that previously went undiscovered in the meta. They're finding new tech here, bricks and minifigs that is, for just bafflingly awful decisions here. Now they have
It just seems like they want to go down, like they want to get cancelled.
fully opened Pandora's box. They have unleashed the plagues out there, just misery. It's pandemonium. It's crazy because it's like Bricks and Minifigs is a Voltorb whose only move is self-destruct, and they are spamming that bitch.
Yep.
They are just finding every possible angle to ruin their reputation. If corporate ass fuckage was a sport, Bricks and Minifigs would be Michael Jordan.
Episode 3 is finally finished after crazy all-nighters and basically destroying my health. But I can't post it or I will go to jail.
Yep.
And
Oh,
not only
shit.
that, I will also immediately lose my lawsuit of $300,000, and the GoFundMe we made for Brian will go straight to this mystery company that
Yeah, that's crazy.
I am no longer allowed to talk about.
All of us are still
Holy
trying
shit.
to piece together the puzzle here and figure out who this mystery company could be. It's like a Smash Brothers character you haven't unlocked yet. We just can't quite make it out yet. But I do have a hunch, though I'm of course not 100% sure
Me
who the
neither.
culprit might be. We'll have to get Scooby-Doo on this case. So now they have ball-gagged Reckless Ben here. He was giving a status update on the whereabouts of episode 3, that it was completed, ready to rock and roll, but he is now unable to share that because it would put him at risk of going to jail and instantly losing his lawsuit, and also all of the money raised through the GoFundMe for Brian and his family
Plus his friends also would go to jail or whatever.
would be forfeit. So he can't
No.
release part 3 of the investigation on this massive Lego scandal because of this legal hoopla he finds himself wrapped up in. Now, right away, I want to talk about something because I've seen a lot of people mentioning that the methods that been used here were really counterproductive and may have actually been harmful in the grand scheme of things in this case. And while I do understand that criticism, like, yeah, it seems like some of the things he was doing may be purely for content, like that was the impetus behind a couple of the decisions, what's inarguable is that what has happened as a result of this is a net positive for the actual victims of Bricks and Minifigs here, which is Brian and his family. The money raised through the GoFundMe is life-changing, and it is no doubt a good thing. And
True.
showcasing the way Bricks and Minifigs corporate, as well as how those individual franchisees conducted themselves, is also an extremely important thing as a PSA to the Lego community with who they might be doing business with. So I think no matter how you spin it, no matter how you look at this and peel back the layers of the onion, I think even if you didn't agree with all the things Ben did, which I do understand in a few instances, I think all of it did lead to something very important, which was trying to help someone that had been wronged by a corporation that refused to try and make things right without this public spectacle unfolding here. And also, unironically, Ben has made a sacrifice to like his personal freedom. He's went to jail twice for this and is now wrapped up in some very serious litigation. And all of that under the attempts to try and make things right for Brian. And like I said, again, even if you don't agree with all the ways he went about it, nothing would have been changing without Ben doing those things. Brian
Yeah.
still wouldn't have been getting what he was owed, or Bricks and Minifigs and the franchisee would have still been just giving him the cold shoulder, treating him like dirt. So I think it has been a positive thing that Ben has gone to bat for. And now I think this latest decision is one that can be unanimously booed. To now silence the guy who has been talking about this and diving into it, I think is always just a completely inexcusable look.
Real.
And here's the thing, even if Bricks and Minifigs does end up winning against Ben, this kind of decision here is just such an underhanded, shitty tactic, already on the back of them trying to take down his Patreon, his main source of income, that it is inexcusable and, in my opinion, pretty unforgivable. That is an irreparable blow to their reputation.
Yeah, it's gonna go down from No one.
Even if they do win, no one will be able to look at this company the same way again and probably won't feel comfortable doing business with this corporation. That's what I think.
Yep.
And again, his investigation has spread beyond just bricks and minifigs. Like, it showed some very questionable, very, very shady shit from the American Fork Police Department, obviously. But it doesn't seem like the American Fork Police Department is the one that is now attempting to censor Ben here, under threat of throwing his life away if he continues to talk about them and show his investigation. That is Bricks and Minifigs, the mystery company, whom I believe to be Bricks and Minifigs based on what I think is pretty obvious evidence.
They sent court papers to my email, which I guess a judge approved for them that this was a valid form of service. And so now that I'm
So for him, it's not valid, but for the Brig and Minifigs, it is, I guess.
officially served,
I mean, if you didn't watch the video, go to Ben's channel. It's right there, Reckless Ben.
I
Yeah.
cannot even mention this
I mean, he has another one,
company or I will be in
but yeah.
jail and everything. Normally I would be like, screw the big guy telling me what to do. I'm going to do what's morally right. But in this situation, if I do that, then all my friends get screwed with this lawsuit and we
Yep.
lose all the GoFundMe money we raised, like, immediately.
Completely understandable. I don't think there's a soul on this planet that blames him for that. There's really no other option than to comply with the demands of this lawsuit here, because if he doesn't, then everyone's getting face fucked. Not just Ben, anyone that was even attached to a single tendril to this case here, including the main victims here, Brian, they would then lose everything that was built up across this with the GoFundMe.
Yeah.
So it makes sense why he is unfortunately having to make this decision to not continue talking about it and putting forth the evidence in part 3. I am very curious why they were able to serve him those papers through email as opposed to when Ben was apparently instructed that the only viable means was through amicable, like, service,
Yep.
trying to serve the papers himself.
Exactly.
But I guess maybe there's a chance where a judge looked at this and said, like, oh, so Ben tried to serve them, they weren't receptive, so it's very likely that he wouldn't be receptive to Bricks and Minifigs trying to serve to Ben. So we'll grant you the motion to issue the service through email. But even in that case, I feel like that would have been easy for them to extend that same courtesy to Ben to serve through email, but I don't think they ever did based on everything that was shown in the previous videos.
I mean, he's not a big company, what can we say, right?
So that was a little confusing to me. And it's hard not to immediately think back on everything that was shown via the police body cam and what was said on those body cams and what we saw in some really, really, really questionable behavior from these officers. It's hard not to immediately think of maybe something a little deeper and perhaps a little bit corrupt.
Eruption.
But that's where my head goes here, because there are some very questionable things that have
Yeah, I mean, it's insane how much the corruption goes, right? I mean, usually the police is the guys who go for help, right?
unfolded on camera in regards to how all of this has been handled in that space there, but that's all just allegedly. I'm not saying it 100% is the result of corruption why this was deemed a viable means of service. I'm just very surprised, is all, that Ben wasn't able to utilize email for serving the papers to the franchisees.
So I am no longer allowed to even mention this mystery company. My personal opinion is that this is unfair because this order was put on me because this company was telling the court that I was making bomb threats. I was planning on murdering the manager and employees, which obviously I didn't do, and you can see that in the footage. The only problem is I was not given a chance to share my side. The court just heard their perspective, not mine. So because I wasn't able to share my side, I am now no longer allowed to talk about them, and looks like this might be it. So, yeah.
It's so fucking diabolical how they make these allegations that Ben was threatening them with bombs and violence.
Yeah, the guy said that he went to the store and threatened the people working there. Like he's gonna kill them, actually. That's what he was telling the police when he called them to go protect him from Ben, who was trying to serve the papers. That was his excuse.
And stuff like that. I'm gonna go over there and kick their butts. I'm gonna go in there and motorboat their cheeks and punch them up real bad and stuff. I'm gonna beat them up. They're saying all these things, which then enables them to move this forward to gag him without ever even seeing Ben's side of it. Apparently, according to Ben here, that doesn't make sense to me at all. How that happens, I don't know if that's standard procedure or what.
Yeah, how can just a random dude like a company is backing him up, of course, but can just like make a lot of claims about this guy being genuinely like threatening to him and his family and everyone else for like weeks now with no proof, and everyone just believes him. And when Ben is telling the side of the story, there's no one believes him, even when he has proof. Like when the police officer check his document for the like the document of the court he has to give to the guy, even when they see it's real, because he calls the whatever officer who takes care of that, he still didn't believe and just arrest Ben. It's just
But I know in the case of like stalkers, like streamers who have had stalkers, they will give the most unhinged DMs, like actual hard proof DMs, messages, actual threats, even stalkers showing up to their house. They will provide that, and still authorities never really move to do anything to the stalkers.
yeah, that's weird. But then when it's this guy, the minifigs company, then it's oh wow, we need to do something, right?
So why are they moving so hard against Ben?
Yeah,
Like, again, you can question some of his methods, and yes, some of it could teeter on like ballpark definitions of like stalking in regards to them trying to like serve them and stuff. But what's irrefutable is how lightly
two-tier policy.
stalkers get taken so often with like actual dangerous psychopaths who are a threat to individuals' safety. They just get to walk away scot-free, willy-nilly, not taken seriously. But in this case, when it's a corporation that's alleging
Yeah.
it, now all of a sudden the hammer's coming down. Here comes the giant fist. That's just fucked up. And they apparently didn't even hear out Ben's side, which apparently has supporting video evidence as well to the contrary, proving that he wasn't making those threats or saying those things or doing any of what was alleged. It's weird. It's weird. And the freaks at Bricks and Minifigs just don't seem to recognize that even if Ben can't talk about it, you know what's going to happen? Everyone else is going to talk about it. They truly just don't understand the Streisand effect at all. Genuinely at all. They've never even heard the term, I guess. That nomenclature, nothing. It's a fantasy to them. Like, it could have been so easily avoidable, all of this, if Bricks and Minifigs wasn't such assholes based on all available evidence here. And the CEO is addicted, like I said, to this humiliation ritual of putting his face on all of it, going on streams beclowning himself, like constantly talking about it himself. So you're hearing it right from the top
Really? I didn't see that. I should make a video about it.
of the food chain. And it only keeps making it worse, and it makes people keep talking about it. So then, censoring Ben isn't going to just stop the story, it's only going to make it spread even more as more and more people talk about it now that Ben can't. And I cannot believe that they can't recognize that fact. It's fucking unfathomable that people run a company that handles this much money that Bricks and Minifigs does, millions upon millions of dollars, and can't understand the simplest concepts about the world and life. It's so weird to me. It's so weird.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Anyway, very unfortunate new development here in this Lego scandal. Had to yap about it. That's really about it. See ya.
Yeah, hey guys, follow Penguin Z0, small YouTuber. You guys should help him out. So yeah, bye bye.